Hey family, make sure you join us on the new and improved AfricanDiasporaNews.org. Now, it is our uncensored and raw truth website. We have to make sure to have our own website because on social media platforms, they do have rules, and at any time they could change a rule and shut a whole genre down. Now, that would not happen to us because on AfricanDiasporaNews.org, we can speak the truth. We don't have to hold back. So make sure you join our website today.
Hello everyone, it's me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show here on YouTube and a proud contributor of the African Diaspora News channel. If you could please do me a favor and subscribe to all channels and like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So just recently, people are now discovering that in Illinois, they have passed the Safety Act that will take effect on January 1st, 2023, which basically gets rid of the cash bail system, and that people no longer need cash to bail out for most offenses. And so upstate lawmakers decided upon that. And so, of course, a lot of people are freaked out because they're like, oh my God, they're just going to be letting everybody out of jail now. Now, there is a mayor called Keith Pickow of Orland Park. He said this, check it out.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park, Cook County.
So as you heard him say there, and he's, trying to freak everybody out, right? Oh, they're going to be letting out kidnappers and, murderers who commit second-degree murders and burglaries and robberies, and, your businesses and your homes are in danger and all that other stuff, right? Now, it should be said that people who commit like heinous murders and things like that, doesn't sound like they'll even be eligible for bail. But for the most part, people are going to now be able to bail out. Now, the premise behind that is to give everybody a fair shot. Now, what I mean by that is, of course, you guys have heard about Kalief Browder. In 2010, he was 16 and he was arrested in New York for stealing a backpack. And he was held in Rikers Island from 2010 to about 2013. And, came out that he did not steal the backpack. But nevertheless, he was held initially on a $3,000 bond, and it took like $900 to get him out. But his family, they could not raise the money. So eventually they borrowed the money from a neighbor. And then when they tried to go bail him out, his parole officer, because I guess he was on parole for something, and the parole officer was like, well, I decided to not even let him out. I'm challenging the bond. And so he stayed there for 3 years, basically for something he didn't do. And in 2015, he killed himself. And so Kalief's story is a horrible one, but it is not rare. There's a lot of people who are in jail because they simply cannot bond out. From what I understand, Sandra Bland was another case where it was an issue of bail money. Of course, you guys know that she was murdered in police custody in Texas. And so to me, yeah, I think it's problematic for white people, you know what I mean? But the thing is, all the things that he listed, kidnapping, second-degree murder, burglary, and all that other stuff, white people do the stuff all the time. But the difference with them and everybody else, specifically black people, is white people can afford to bail out. I mean, there's a whole lot of white people that do heinous things, and they bail out like it's nothing, right? They commit murders and you name it, and they're out on the streets. But the difference is money. They can afford to do that. And so if you ask me, I think the Safety Act, I think it just levels the playing field, and it allows everybody to bail out, and then go to court and fight from a different perspective, opposed to being locked up and, enduring the horrors of prison like Kalief Browder had to endure as a 16-year-old. And so they can, you know, be on the outside and strategize and do what they need to do, just like white people do. And so, yeah, white people are mad because now everybody else is going to be able to be a criminal, if that's what they are, and walking around drinking lattes and all of that. And so I say good. Now maybe y'all will legislate in fairness for everybody else the next time around, instead of making it, you know, to where white people can benefit from the laws. Of course, we know the laws in the United States are made for that of white people to benefit, and the laws are actually against everybody else. But now maybe they'll think twice, because now, you know, I envision in their mind, they're seeing Thriller, right? Like, oh, the zombies, the black people, and, you know, these low-level poor people are out amongst us, even though white people doing the same stuff, but they just can bail out, right? So, suck it up, Buttercup. Deal with it. So y'all tell me what y'all think of this story. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.
Colonization never ended in the white supremacist system. And as we see today, the colonization is in the mind. Now, those who have been enslaved and those who have been colonized, we're still dealing with the remnants of that through the colonization of the mind. Pick up my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, and we will help deprogram you from the colonization that was put upon you by generations and generations of white supremacy. You can pick it up today on Amazon.com.